he's shooting at the police.
Oh, really?
Police are shooting at us. What the hell does this mean? Does this mean I'm going to get a bullet through my head? All hell broke loose at that moment, that I would get the bullet in my head and that he'd just have the kids to himself. And he's telling the kids, hey, I'm not a bad man. I've just got to take you away for a while. If you don't do it, I say, Teach, he called me Teach, Teach will get it. He gets out, puts his hands in the air, and police shoot him in the leg and arrest him.
Well, I'm honoured to be joined with a man who's experienced a lot in his life, Rob Hunter. Well, you're well known for what happened in 1977 in Warreen. But before we get to that, I just want to learn a bit about you as a child. What was life like back as a kid?
Yeah, pretty good. I reckon I had a pretty ideal upbringing. I had 4 older brothers, so one of 5 boys. Grew up on a dairy farm just out of Kyabram, and loved life. Had lots of good friends. Mum and Dad did a good job, I reckon. And I had these 4 older brothers were sort of like extra parents as well for me. Yeah.
I've actually been working on a dairy farm as well myself in Scottsburn. How many? Did you milk the cows yourself?
I did.
How'd you go about that before all the machinery?
Yeah, well, there was some machinery in those days.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a real young child, we just had a conventional dairy, but then Dad built this herringbone, and then later, after I'd grown up and left home, we got the rotary dairy. But yeah, I experienced all those at 3 different forms.
Yeah, and was the goal always to be a teacher?
Well, I was I was forced in a way to make a decision to get away from the farm, because 3 of my older brothers had become teachers, become dairy farmers, and Dad said, "Hey, you've got brains, son, so I reckon you should be able to do something in a tertiary level." So, okay, one of my older brothers was a teacher, so I ended up becoming a teacher. So
what was the process like to be a teacher in the 70s?
Yeah, I had to get reasonable marks. 1973, I got some good reasonable marks and got a studentship and got paid, back in those days, to go to college.
And then you get the job at Warreen.
Yeah.
Day 1 and all the way to day 8 really was normal, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And was it enjoyable to start with?
Yeah, it was pretty scary. I was nervous as a kitten in those first few days, but by the 8th day, I was thinking, this is a good gig.
Yeah.
The kids were lovely. The kids were responding really well. But yeah, only one being the only teacher, the only adult, 9 children, headmaster. Yes. There was a lot of responsibility juggling the different year levels and making sure they were all on task. But they were good kids.
Because the age differences were quite different.
Yeah, grade 6 down to prep. Yeah. I didn't have any preps. I had 2 grade 1 boys.
And they were they like cousins or very close knit?
Yeah. Everyone was related to someone. 5 of them were siblings and 4 of them were cousins. Yeah.
And then the Warreen school was just one room?
Yes.
Was it? On a bit of land?
Just the one room.
So how small was it?
Yeah, well, not much more bigger than a normal classroom. Had an extra little annex off the side where there was an office, which was the office, and had the filing cabinet, the phone, the pie warmer, a Gestetner machine where you could run off copies of paper.
Did you live in Warreen, or was that more Leongatha?
Yeah, I lived in Merbau North, which was about 20 minutes away.
So what's the population of Warreen back in the 70s?
Yeah, I don't think it had a population.
It was just the 9 or 10 of yous in the day.
A bit like that. It was just the dairy farming community.
Yeah.
If you added it up, it might have been 100 or 2.
So then we go to day 9 of your teaching. Obviously something you weren't going to expect, I'm assuming. What was that morning like before he actually came.
Yeah, February the 14th, 1977. So it was St. Valentine's Day.
Mm.
I had no idea it was St. Valentine's Day. But one of the kids said to me that morning, "Oh, happy St. Valentine's Day, Mr. Hunter." "Oh, thanks." So, yeah, normal morning, arrived at school at 8:15, got the chalkboard all drawn up. I had my lessons planned. The kids arrived at 8:45, and we started school at 9. And normal first hour and a half, 10:30 a.m. we let them out for recess. And moments later they came racing back inside saying, "Mr. Hunter, Mr. Hunter, there's a man outside with a gun." I didn't think too much of it, but I thought maybe someone was out wanting to shoot a rabbit. But I went to the door and I was forcefully met by this balaclava hooded man, shaking, sweating.
He was sweating and shaking.
Yeah. He was agitated. He was nervous. He'd had a bad morning as well. He'd been to a previous school that morning where he was going to kidnap them.
Wow.
And he was in a rush. Things hadn't quite gone well for him. But we were lucky enough to be or unlucky enough to be the recipients of his escapade.
And he originally committed a kidnapping, didn't he, in near Castlemaine? What was the town called?
Yep, Faraday.
Yep. He then escaped jail.
Yep.
And he's come to you, and he tried that morning to go after some other schools.
Yes.
And I wonder what happened there. Well, how didn't he?
So Allenby Reserve or Allenby South, not sure which, had extra personnel there that day, 2 extra visiting teachers, 2 specialists, and he was focusing on wanting one adult and the children.
Weird motive.
Very weird, Noah. Yeah. Crazy man. So he'd done the Faraday kidnapping with Mary Gibbs. She'd been a hero. She'd done it, and I remembered that story very well. I was in year 11 when that happened. It was all over the news. And here I was, and I had no idea that this was happening again to me when he met me at the door. I had no idea. I just thought this was a bit of a nutter.
Was he known in the community at all?
No,
not at all?
No.
So you don't know where he was based at all? He just randomly popped up?
So he randomly popped up because he'd escaped from jail.
Yes.
From Geelong Jail here in our backyard. He'd been on the run for a couple of months, done a string of crimes, and arrived on my doorstep on this morning.
So when you saw him for the first time with the balaclava and he's shaking, sweating, what did you say anything to him, or what were you thinking? What did he say?
I don't remember saying anything at that point. Maybe I said, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Can I help?" And it was, "Get back inside, mate, or I'll effing shoot you." And so I went back and had to sit in a seat that he asked me to sit in, this particular spot. All the children went back and sat in their respective seats.
So what was your first emotion? Obviously, it's probably fear.
Yeah. Initially, probably not a real lot of fear. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Nothing like this had ever happened in my life before, Noah. I'd never been threatened. I don't think I'd ever even been bullied at school. I thought this might have been a prank. I thought he might have been a screw loose, a nutcase that I could have got around and talked my way out of.
Yeah.
I offered him money. I said, "I can write you out a check." But as time went by and he's telling the kids, "Hey, I'm not a bad man. I've just got to take you away for a while. You just do what I say and no one will get hurt." As he's saying these things, I'm thinking, oh no, we're in trouble. He continued to wear this balaclava and he was obviously agitated, threatening with the gun. And my heart starts palpitating and I'm getting I'd like to go to the toilet type feelings.
Yeah. In the 70s, it was Leongatha and Warreen like a very, safe community, and people knew each other. It's like this was obviously a very random occurrence.
Yes, that's right. Warreen would have been a pretty tight community. They weren't all best friends by any means, but all the children in the district went there. There was only 9 children that year, but a lot of their older siblings had been through. Everyone knew everybody. Warreen's about 15k from Leongatha. Yes, Leongatha was the centre where everyone went for shopping and supplies. So, yeah, everyone knew each other. This guy intruding was left field.
So you're all in the room and he's got a gun. What happens next?
Do what I say, and no one will get hurt. But if you don't do what I say, Teach, he called me Teach, Teach will get it.
Wow.
Yeah, so
how did the kids respond to that?
They're looking at me. I can tell they're looking at me and thinking, Mr. Hunter, come on, do something. And I'm thinking, what the hell can I do?
Exactly.
We're all in this tight little room. I was scared witless, really. And I'm thinking, I stayed calm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, maybe someone will come. Maybe someone will come and interrupt this. Maybe I can write a note. Maybe we can make a phone call. But
without him knowing.
Yes.
Which would be a tricky part.
That's right. So he then tells me, "Hey, Teach, come out here, lie down on the floor." There was a little platform at the front of the room. Lie down here. I lay down on my back. He said, "Not on your back, on your front. Hands out above your head." He gets these chains out from his bag and begins to chain me up.
Jeez.
In front of the kids. Then puts me back in that same seat, and then chains all the children to that same chain.
In the room.
A big, long, 10-metre long dog chain.
So they're all connected to the same chain, but you're separate.
Yeah, well, I'm on that same chain.
Oh, you're on that same chain, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to ask about that. Like, what was genuinely, how do you get out of that situation?
Well, we're chained up, aren't we?
Yeah. Because you don't plan, no one plans this to happen. You can't really.
No.
It's more of a natural response, which you're chained up, you can't escape.
It was surreal. Is this real? What the hell's going on here? I've never dreamt of this in my whole wildest dreams, that something like this would ever happen. We just took it at face value. We just did what he said. And for the whole time I'm thinking, what can I do here?
Did he say anything that wasn't threatening? Or did he only say, "Stay still or I'll shoot you"? Was that all he did, really? There wasn't any other conversation?
Quite a bit of conversation with the kids. The kids asking questions. Where are you going to take us?
Okay.
How long are you going to take? So that's some of these kids are grade six children who have been there for, this is their 7th year. So they're quite comfortable in this room, comfortable in this school. It's old hat, really. So they're the ones that are, in a way, leading the way. They say, how long are you going to take us away for? Where are you going to take us? Have you done this before?
Was he getting agitated with the questions?
No, he sort of offhandedly gave them glib answers, I suppose.
Okay. Were you concerned with the kids asking questions?
Well, it lightened the load a little bit.
Yeah.
It made it feel a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
I took out the sting of it. So it wasn't all tense. But I knew we were in trouble.
How do you keep yourself calm in that situation?
Yeah. look calm,
Yes.
but underneath, like a duck swimming underwater, my feet are paddling madly.
Mm.
So yeah, not in the guts.
Because if you stress and the kids stress,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's when...
Yes. So I knew I needed to stay calm, and I continued to smile, and I continued to respond positively. One stage they said to him, "Hey, what's your name?" And I quickly answered, "Oh, perhaps we could call you Fred," or I forget exactly what the name was that I said, but eventually a bit of a random name. And then he then said, "Call me Ted."
Ted.
So his full name was Edwin John Eastwood, and I think his nickname as a child must have been Ted.
Right.
Edwin Ted.
So how long were you chained up in the room for before another thing happened?
Yeah, so let the children out at 10:30. We ended up leaving the building at around about 11:10.
Okay, that's longer than I thought.
Yes, it took a good half hour. He had to leave us for a while because he'd hidden his vehicle around the back road.
Okay.
There was a side road, which was the road to Murbu North, the dirt road, and he'd hidden his car around the back of the school along that road. So he had to leave us for about 5, 7, 8 minutes to go and get the vehicle and bring it back and back it into the front door of the school.
What did he say to you before he left? Just stay still. Don't move.
Well, because we were already chained, he then chains my 2 hands to the wall where there was a bag hook, quite a strong,
so you couldn't move.
Hanger.
Yeah.
And my hands are sort of suspended in midair. And the children are then in a line along from me. He asks them to sit down. Sit down, kids. I'll be back in a little while.
You didn't know how long he'd be.
He explained that he had to go and get his vehicle. I only assumed it'd be a few minutes. But at that point, I said to the kids, "Hey, kids," after he'd exited, "stand up, walk outside and start waving to the cars that are going past." Because we're on the Leongatha Yarragon Road. There's a continuous, not every second, but quite a few cars go past.
Okay.
And wave to the cars, and they might see that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And the kid said, "Mr. Hunter, no,
Yeah.
he'll come back and he'll shoot us."
Yeah. That's such a hard position to be in. I just wonder if the kids did do that, whether something different would have happened.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of ifs. There was a lot of ifs. There was another moment before we were all chained up. A little boy, Danny, was near the door, and his auntie just lived down the road, maybe only 500 metres. And I tried to signal to Danny, "Go."
Yeah.
But Danny didn't understand what I was saying.
Would he have noticed if Danny went?
Well, Eastwood had his back turned at that moment. He was chaining the next child.
Oh, okay.
And I was pretty sure he hadn't counted how many kids we had.
Right.
And I was thinking perhaps Danny could have snuck out. But I'm glad Danny didn't twig what I was on about, because it could have gone bad.
Yeah.
There was another moment too, Noah, when Eastwood had his gun in his back pocket. Mostly it was in his hand or in his front, but he was leaning over, gun in his back pocket, chaining up the next child.
So it was...
And it was within reach.
Yes.
And I very nearly grabbed the gun. And after this whole event, I relived that moment over and over, with palpitations and hot sweats and things. I didn't grab the gun, but if I had, it could have gone terribly wrong.
Correct. There's so many different, situations throughout this whole journey that you could have done this, could have done that. Oh, but really, looking back, you've done it perfectly.
So I'm alive.
You're alive.
And to cut a long story short, all the children are alive.
Correct.
Too.
So there couldn't have been a better result. You're in the chain. Oh, you're chained up in the room, and Eastwood's gone to get his vehicle, and he comes back with the vehicle, and then what?
He backs the vehicle up to the door, opens the back, opens the passenger door, comes back in and says to me, "Okay, Teach, I've changed my mind with you."
Oh boy,
and
what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking, what the hell does this mean? Yeah. Does this mean I'm going to get a bullet through my head? Please, God, no. Certainly not in front of the kids. He unchained me at that point and blindfolded me, gagged me, and tied my hands behind my back with the ropes around my waist. And then he guided me out the door and put me on the floor of the passenger seat.
Wouldn't it be a lot of room?
No, I was kneeling on the floor,
right.
Chest, head up on the seat.
Oh, wow.
This is a Dodge
Although
utility.
you wouldn't have known where you were, really, blindfolded.
No.
You could get kind of a glimpse, maybe. But
yeah.
Right.
It was very, very awkward.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Did you have an idea where you were?
No.
No idea?
No.
Right. And he gets the kids?
So the kids are then bundled in the back. They're all chained up still, and they're separated from me, and I can't communicate with them all. Obviously, if I'm gagged,
can't talk,
and I can't see them either. So
right. So he puts them. They're all chained up in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Or what was it, a vehicle, like a van?
Yeah, a Dodge utility. There was another little bit which this is my only claim to heroism in this whole thing.
Please do.
Yeah. I was able to unplug an electric clock, which was just near where I had been chained up to the wall. And the clock stopped at 7 or 8 minutes past 11. This is just before he blindfolded me and gagged me. So the clock was stopped at that point, so that when police and parents came later in the day, they worked out, okay, this is when that happened.
Wow, did you? That's really, really intelligent. That actually is. Did you? You did it for that reason?
Well, yeah. I just thought, well, that's probably going to be something that indicates.
If I was
timing.
in your position, I'd be obviously not doing that. I'd be trying to shackle the chains and have no hope at that. I'd be running around. So I can't believe how you kept such a cool head in all of that. And the cops would have been very appreciative of that move.
Yeah. It was a good indicator.
Very much so. And the kids are in the back, so then he takes the vehicle somewhere? Is that what he does next?
Yeah, we then drive, and he drives like a madman, really.
Does he?
Very fast, and we're getting pushed from side to side, and we follow a road called the Grand Ridge Road, which follows the top of the Strzelecki Ranges in that part of Gippsland, through Murbu North, and on our way to his hideout or his camping spot near Yarram.
So, okay, but then he doesn't quite get to the camping spot, does he?
No. We do stop momentarily about half an hour along the road to, which turns out to be his ransom note that he posts,
right?
Which is a whole stack of demands from government.
So he's not happy with the government.
No, he's not a happy man at all. At a whole number of levels.
So do you have an idea as to why he came back and tried to kidnap more? Was that a retaliation to the police? Or was that just because he's just a bit messed up?
Bit of both, I think. But essentially, probably the most important part was Robert Boland, who had been his accomplice in Faraday. He'd been convicted, he'd been imprisoned, and Eastwood felt bad for him. And he reckoned that Boland was innocent, and he wanted to get Boland released. So some of his demands was the release of all these prisoners, and the key one being Boland.
Right. So do you know what was at his campsite or the place he was going to take you? Do you know anything about that place?
Well, we ended up there.
Oh, you did?
And there was tarpaulins, there was a few blankets, there was a bit of water, some milk, some chocolate, a lot of cigarettes,
okay,
tinned ham, and that's about it from my memory. A few other tins of stuff that, yeah.
What would you predict he would have done at the campsite with you guys, or what did he do?
Well, his intention was that he'd just hold us there at ransom for weeks.
See, I find that really interesting. Well, I mean, it just comes back to how messed up he would be. Because, like, what's the point, you know?
Well, these demands, he was serious about the demands. In the ransom letter, if my demands aren't acceded to, he said, I wasn't very familiar with that word, acceded, but he spelled it correctly. If my demands aren't acceded to, these prisoners will be shot. So there was other demands too, drugs, $7 million worth of used US currency, getaway vehicles,
wow,
armaments, all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Whether or not he really thought that would ever happen, I don't know. But he wanted to be famous. He wanted to do the crime of the century.
He wanted to be like a Ned Kelly.
Yes, exactly. And Ned Kelly was actually mentioned that night while we're camped in the bush.
Oh, by him?
Yes.
What did he say about Ned Kelly?
Well, he talked about notorious crimes, and he wanted to be notorious criminal number one.
So you spent a night there.
Yeah.
Was it, well, how was that?
Relatively calm.
Yeah.
Because we skipped a little bit. We better go back because I'm not the only adult now.
Okay.
We had an accident.
Yes. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
That did happen.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the accident.
Yeah.
He was driving like a madman.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it was his fault for crashing the vehicle.
Yeah.
And you were blindfolded at the time, so you probably didn't see it.
No.
You just felt the effect of it.
Yeah. Banged my head.
Big time. Because you're like not sitting down, are you? You're in the front of the seat.
Yep. I'm on the floor, yeah.
So that, I can't believe how was there injuries from that? Because big time.
And potentially concussion and being stunned, and the children were all flung from the impact. So we're going around these sharp corners.
Yes.
And this particular one that we were going around was basically a hairpin bend, and we hardly pass a vehicle the whole time because it's a very quiet road.
Okay.
We're passing a timber jinker, a logging truck.
Yes.
And the logging truck fills up the whole road, and Eastwood's going so fast he can't stop.
Oh.
And he rams into the back wheel of this logging truck, and we get pushed over the edge of the road. Our back left wheel is in midair. The chassis of the vehicle is being supported on the verge of the road, and by all rights we should have gone catapulting down this precipice. It's quite a steep terrain.
Yeah.
And we're stuck on this road. And I hear the children in the back after the impact, "Don't move, guys, we're going to go over the edge." They could see out the window how
close you were.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So obviously the logging truck guy stops. Or with the crash,
yeah.
So you're on the edge here. Then what does Eastwood do?
He can't get out of his vehicle initially. Robin Smith is the driver of that truck, and he's there with his younger brother that day, younger 17-year-old brother David, and they're surprised by this vehicle driving stupidly.
Correct. Yep.
And they stop. And Robin gets out of his truck, and Eastwood by that stage has wound the window down of our vehicle to climb out. With his gun, he pulls the gun on Robin Smith and gets him to lie down on the road face first, and gets his brother David to lie next to him.
So now they're involved.
Exactly.
So Robin Smith and his brother join you guys.
Yeah.
And so how do you end up getting to the campsite after this crash?
Well, we haven't got a vehicle now, have we?
No.
Another truck comes along, Robin's second truck,
Pretty close after, soon after?
about a half hour.
Okay.
2 more adults in that truck, Greg Peterson, Robin's driver, and a hitchhiker that Greg's picked up randomly that morning.
Right.
So 2 more blokes. I'm now one of 5 men.
Wow, yep.
That he's got the problem of, and I'm thinking, okay, we're right now. I mean, initially when I'm lying there with Robin face down, flat on this dirt road, hands out in front of you, chained up again, I'm thinking, I'm a bit safer now. I've got 2 mates.
Yeah, yep.
They become mates.
Yeah,
really,
they become mates.
Immediate mates.
Wow.
And Robin says, "Who the hell is this guy? What's going? Where are you from? What? You know?" And I'm trying to answer the questions. He has never heard of Wiroon Primary School. So anyway, 5 blokes, but we still haven't got a vehicle.
No. So you're all just lying down, chained up, realistically.
Yeah.
Eastwood wouldn't have wanted that to happen at all. He wouldn't want 5 adults there. He would have just wanted you and the kids.
Exactly. So all throughout up to this point, I'd been thinking that I was a nuisance to him, that I would get the bullet in my head, and that he'd just have the kids to himself. But now there's 5 adults. I'm thinking, I think we're safe now. He's gonna go home. He's gonna flee, but
doesn't do that.
But he doesn't do that, and he had no intention of doing that. But we haven't got a vehicle to get to his campsite because our vehicle's wrecked. There's water spewing out of the radiator. The whole front end has been wrecked. So what sort of vehicle could possibly come along that would keep us all together? You'd need a minibus, wouldn't you?
No way.
Well, that's basically what turned up. 2 beautiful women, Joy Edward and Muriel Depineau, were camping in the Gippsland bush, and they came from the correct direction, because if they had come from the direction that we'd come from, it was roadblock, they wouldn't have been able to get through. They came from the same direction that Robin had come from, and he pulls the gun on them, kidnaps them, and says, "Sorry, girls, I need your vehicle."
Oh, my goodness. That's wow.
And they join us as well. So now there's 7 extra adults.
But now you've got a vehicle.
He
has a vehicle for it.
And we've got these 2 beautiful ladies who look after my kids. I haven't been able to get to the kids, and these women love the kids, put their arms around the kids cry with them, talk with them, the women hug them, hold their hands, talk sense, and the whole atmosphere's changed.
Yeah, all of a sudden I guess the kids are a lot more reassured, perhaps.
Yes.
So then you've got he's got the minivan now, which is really unlucky. With the fact that, Eastwood would have loved that, but the chances of that happening, like rocking up to you guys, is really low.
You talked about the ifs and the buts, the sliding door moments. If we had have got a sedan that came along, I hate to think what would have happened, because we wouldn't have all been able to fit in a sedan, and he wouldn't have wanted any telltale voices.
No.
Maybe he would have just chained us up to a tree or something, that adults that he didn't want. I don't know. He'd got an axe out of Robin's vehicle so that he could put a hole in the boot of a sedan that came along.
Right.
So he'd stuff children in that was what he was thinking might have been an option. So
it was probably good that a van came up.
Exactly.
If it was in your vehicle.
Exactly.
So then he puts you all in a van, I'm assuming, and then
jams us all in. The 5 blokes are chained. The women don't get chained.
Yep.
They say, "Look, we'll do exactly what you say. You don't have to chain us up."
So
they bargained with him.
So he leaves, but the truck's tipped over, like the truck and the vehicle that he was in originally is all on the ground.
Yeah.
And he just leaves the scene.
Yeah. The trucks are or the Robin's truck can't drive because it's got a blowout in the back wheel. And actually Eastwood's wrecked the inside panels because there was a CB radio that he didn't want anyone communicating with the outside world. So he's actually wrecked Robin's truck. It won't go.
So what time of the day was it when the van came, roughly? Do you know at all?
Yeah, well, I reckon we were there for a good hour, possibly an hour and a half. We'd been driving for about 2.5 hours from 10:30. From 11.
Yeah.
So what's that? 1:30. It's probably about 3 o'clock by the time we're leaving this spot.
So it's a fair hike from Warreen Primary to his campsite.
Yes.
Wow. Where was it located? Did you say again?
Near Yarram.
Which is.
As the crow flies, it's probably only 150k, but following this Grand Ridge Road,
a bit longer.
It would have been about 400k.
Okay, wow.
And so we drove 2.5 hours to the accident, and then we drove another 2.5 hours to the campsite.
Oh my goodness. And that was a very uncomfortable ride for you. 2.5 hours of being kneeled down.
Well, the first one particularly was.
Definitely.
Because that's the blindfold and the gag and the hands tied behind my back. Thankfully, the gag had come off because he'd been talking to me during that, because it was a fairly, we were in a car a long time together. Yeah. He's asking me all sorts of weird questions. What do you reckon? One of the weird things he said to me, you're going to thank me for this one day because you're going to become famous. Oh. Really?
I just want to live.
Do you reckon I'll get how much ransom do you think I can get for you? Was one of the lines.
So he's a smart aleck.
A bit. Yeah. He's a 26-year-old.
And you were 20 at the time as well.
I was only 20
Very
years
young.
of age.
Very young. So where were you sitting in the vehicle, in the van on the second half of the trip? Were you like a little bit more comfy?
I had my back to, we didn't have enough seats.
Right.
Some of us are on the floor. I'm jammed up behind a seat with my bottom partly wedged on the back of the front seat. Most of the children are on the floor. A few of the adults are in seats. But yeah, I can't really see where I'm going unless I turn my head and I can sort of see Eastwood driving the vehicle. Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
Yeah. So, and Eastwood, was he talking at all on the way to the campsite? Or was he...
There's a fair few whispers going on in the back. The women actually alert us to who he is.
Okay.
They said, "You know who this is, don't you?" And I said, "No."
Ted. It's Ted.
This is Edwin John Eastwood, the Faraday kidnapper.
And you knew about that?
Oh, and that's when the penny dropped, yes. Because I'd remembered the Mary Gibbs saga.
And was he obviously driving recklessly again after in the van?
Much too fast.
Yeah.
And because we're so many people in the vehicle, it's way down.
Yep.
And you're rolling around corners. You could tell it was not safe.
Why was he driving like that?
Excited, I suppose.
It wasn't anything to deal with alcohol.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's alcohol or drugs involved at any stage while I was in his company. But yeah, just driving like a madman because he's...
Adrenaline, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. So you rock up to the campsite eventually, and obviously this whole thing's so unprecedented. You know, you don't know what's going to happen next. And you rock up. What happens next at the campsite?
Yeah, he gets out of the vehicle, opens the sliding door of the combi van and takes us blokes out. Apparently, Robin tells me that at that moment, I think Robin was the closest person to the door, that Robin wondered whether he could have jumped Eastwood at that point.
Oh.
That was the moment, I think, that Robin thought that wondered whether they're us. But we're all chained together, so we would have had to have been coordinated, and we hadn't worded each other up at that point. We were wondering how we were going to get out of this. We had no idea.
Yeah. So you rock up at the campsite towards what's like 5 o'clock?
Would have been, about 5.
About 5. And then does he feed you? Does he, I'd be hungry at that.
So he chained us 5 blokes are chained up. So we're chained around this tree, padlocked, one wrist only to the dog chain, and the 2 ends of the dog chain joined together, so that we 5 of us can't go off anywhere. Yeah, about 5:30. Gets all the children out. The women say, "Look, don't chain us up. We'll do exactly what you say," which was really handy because they were then able to sort the children out. We all wanted a drink. No one had had a drink for the whole day, basically. So the women had extra water in the camper van, which was really handy.
Yeah.
So everyone got a little bit of water and a bit of a feed. He had these tinned ham cans. Yeah. And the women sorted that out. So women became the caterers, and the children handed that around to everybody.
So at that point, when you're eating dinner and you spend the night there, did you think you were going to survive?
I imagined that no one would ever going to find us. We're in a forest called the Mullinjung State Forest, near Woodside, not too far from Yarram. I thought we were in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I didn't think anyone would ever find us. Robin, however, didn't live too far away. He lived at Devon North, which was probably only about 10 k's away from where we were. He had a bit of an idea of where we were. The
surrounding area.
Yeah, and so he wasn't so concerned as what I was. I'd come from northern Victoria where all the roads were straight and north, south, east, west, and all of a sudden we're in the mountains, and had absolutely no idea where I was.
Was it a comfortable temperature? Was it freezing or boiling?
Yeah, February the 14th, just a nice warm day, really.
Yeah. So, not too extreme.
No. The evening got a bit cool. Yeah. I can remember putting a jumper on that wasn't mine. One of the ladies had got a jumper out of the van. And
then I'm assuming he didn't have any beds for you to sleep on at all. You're probably just on the floor, maybe, with a blanket?
On a tarpaulin.
Okay. Where did he stay?
He had a deck chair, banana lounge type thing.
So he was in luxury. You guys not so much.
And the radio's going. The radio was tuned to a local station, and the news bulletins on the hour were very important to him. He wanted to know what was happening in the news.
Do you think he wanted to feature on the news?
Yes.
Definitely. He was literally just there for fame. Yeah. When did this whole thing become a concern for the police? When did people find out that you're actually not here?
Yeah, good question. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, back at the school, parents turn up at 3:30 and waited for an hour before they made a phone call.
Wow.
Partly because he'd left a note on the front door of the school, gone on a nature study trip, be back in 1 hour.
So they waited.
He'd written this note on a dodgy bit of cardboard, and he nailed it to the front door of the school.
He is unique.
Parents, I was a little bit disappointed with this because the parents hadn't put 2 and 2 together very quickly. It wasn't signed.
No.
I hadn't had any communication.
They genuinely thought it was Mr. Hunter that wrote that.
They thought that they thought I'd written that, and they actually thought that I'd taken the kids away myself, and that's why they couldn't find me.
Wow.
That's why they couldn't find us or their children.
That's insane. So the hour ticks by, and then they start to think, oh, this is probably a bit concerning. Kids aren't there.
So then they saw that our phone had been wrecked, because I hadn't told you that one, but Eastwood had taken the speaker out of the mouthpiece of the phone.
Then you couldn't call anyone.
Couldn't call anybody. They'd gone to the nearest farmhouse and made the call to police. Police then took only 20 minutes. They would have arrived around about 5 o'clock, just before 5. So they probably arrived about the same time as we arrived to our campsite.
Yeah, okay. So, my goodness. So there's, the police arrive. Meanwhile, you're arriving at the campsite. And then when did you guys become, well, not found, but closer to escaping, if that's a question that can be answered? When did you realise you could escape? Or when could you?
Well, I didn't know that we could escape at all. I thought we were going to be there forever.
How long were you there for?
Well, it ended up we were only there for overnight, because during the night, Robin, who becomes the hero, he's able to get his hand out of the chain, and he's able to sneak off at around about 5 a.m.
While Eastwood's asleep.
Eastwood had fallen asleep. We didn't think anyone was going to sleep. I didn't think I was going to sleep, but I'd fallen asleep. I didn't know Robin had snuck off.
Wow. I
wake at around about 6:30 a.m. and Robin's not there next to me. Oh.
What's Eastwood? Is the first thing Eastwood's...
And I say to David, "Where's Robin?"
Yeah.
She's gone.
Oh, he knew.
Eastwood was still asleep at this point.
Right.
And so I have about 20 minutes where we're just thinking, when Eastwood wakes up, all hell's going to break loose.
I know, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Did you immediately know that he escaped, like, on his terms, or did you think Eastwood did something to him?
I realised, or I felt pretty confident that he'd done it on his own terms. And certainly David had said
knew.
He's gone.
And he's gone where?
Yeah, well, good question. I just assumed that he'd gone to make a phone call or get help, but I didn't know where he had gone. As it turned out, he's run 10 kilometres to the nearest farmhouse on the South Gippsland Highway, and called police.
And then the police come to you guys?
Police come to him. Load him up, and he's then directing us
to where you were,
directing
to the
them to us.
Yeah. And then they arrive at what time?
Well, they didn't. They never got to us. Eastwood wakes up in the meantime, and where's Robin? He calls Robin Singlet because Robin had been wearing a bluey. Right. Where's Singlet? Not here. When did he go? Don't know when. Where's he? All hell broke loose at that moment.
Yeah, what was Eastwood's persona in that time? Was he really agitated and sweating and nervous like he was earlier?
Yeah.
Right.
There was expletives and there was yelling and get in the car. So we all pile in the vehicle again. And off he goes again back along this...
Trying to find him. Is that what he's trying to do?
Well, no, he's just trying to get away from there because he realises that police will be on their way.
Right. So then there's another chase. Yeah.
Well, there's a high-speed chase along the highway eventually. But so we're going along a dirt road. It's called Boundary Road through this Mullinjung State Forest. We've probably been driving for 5-10 minutes and we come across a police car coming in the opposite direction.
And was he driving like a madman?
Yep. And I'm thinking when I see the police car, beauty, we're safe. But no, we weren't.
They just thought it was random.
Eastwood just goes past that police car, stops and says, stop, and Eastwood just ignores the police car, continues on his way towards the South Gippsland Highway where there's police everywhere. It seemed to me like there was dozens of police cars, but it must have only been 4 or 5. But police sirens.
They knew that car that you were in had you guys in it?
Yes, yeah.
So it was a chase?
Yeah. And we had to go, went through a couple of roadblocks along that South Gippsland Highway. He goes off the road down into the second one. He had to go down into a table drain, and where the vehicle's going from side to side. It's incredibly scary.
Yeah.
So shootings happening. He's shooting at the police.
Oh, really?
Police are shooting at us. They're trying to shoot out our tyres, and they miss. Eventually, they get through our front right tyre, and he has to come to a stop.
Were there any bullets that hit the vehicle?
Yes.
And it didn't go through?
It did go through, and where did they go? And thankfully not into any body.
Wow, that's lucky. That is really lucky.
Very lucky.
Where did it hit the vehicle?
Underneath the driver's seat, just above the wheel.
Yeah.
A bullet hole right through the door.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah. So then we go, so they get the tyre. They get the tyre eventually.
And he comes to a stop. Can't go very far on a flat tyre.
Correct.
He's expended all of his ammunition. He's shot. He's only going click, click now. No bullets left in his gun. And he gets out, puts his hands in the air, and police shoot him in the leg and arrest him. But the police, their bravery at this moment is commendable. They storm us, storm him. They don't know that he's run out of ammunition. They could have easily got shot at that point if he still had bullets.
Wow.
So their heroism is
so that
significant.
they tackled him. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
And then shot him in the leg.
Yeah. I think they shot him in the leg and then tackled him.
Yeah. And then, do you guys have to answer all these questions? Were you
Yeah.
how did that go down? How many questions were you asked? How long were you there for?
Well, we ended up at Sale Police Station. All the children, all the adults then make statements.
So, how long after that is that's the story? Anything else after that?
Well, that's the essence of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there is a lot after that because it doesn't go away.
No, yeah. So can we elaborate on that?
Mm.
How long till you got back into teaching? Because that would have been a long time just to process. Like, how long did it take to process? This is like Victorian history goes down as in terms of criminal offences.
Yeah. So we're kidnapped on the Monday morning. We get saved on the Tuesday morning. We get back to school on the Tuesday afternoon, after making all these statements at police station. My DI, my district inspector, says, "Rob, I think you should have the rest of the week off."
That's not a lot of time. I want a bit more.
His name was Ray Bull. But anyway, he says, have the rest of the week off. And I said, thank you. So I go home to Kyabram, and then I come back to school on the Monday morning. And I continued teaching there for the rest of the year, but not with all 9 children.
Okay, yeah.
4 eldest children have gone into Leongatha for the rest of the year.
And then how is the teaching with the rest of the kids that stayed? What was that like?
Yeah, a little bit stilted, a bit not very stimulating, really. I had to work pretty hard at keeping the enthusiasm up. The 5 youngest kids were left. The eldest girl, Laureen, she was in grade 5. She was terrific, and the grade 4 girl, Brett, she was terrific too. And they were good kids, and I'd dish up a fairly ordinary lesson, and they'd still do their best.
That's good.
So a lot of play times, I'd end up playing with the kids. Lunch times, I'd play with the kids, playing soccer and cricket and footy. They were the PE lessons.
Yeah. Did you have much to do with the parents afterwards?
Those parents dropped in consistently.
Yeah.
For the rest of the year, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And each time you come to school in the morning after that, was there any emotions that were different? Was there any, I guess, more security kind of thing that, I don't know how to explain it. Were you more protective or had a protective mindset than usual?
Yeah, well, I probably had an uneasy mindset
Mm.
a lot of at different times. The kids were too. The kids would be looking out the window if ever a vehicle pulled up or
Oof.
went past. Who is that?
Yeah.
What's going on? Different emotions. Driving to school most mornings, I can remember thinking about that gun and having these palpitations and. So it was a bit of post-traumatic stress going on, but we just got through it. No counselling whatsoever, Noah, those days. No counselling at all. No, not even a proper debrief.
Wow.
The most would have been making a police statement at Sale Police Station that very next day, or the day we got saved. And my friends asking questions and having a good chat to mates.
So how long till you actually kind of got back to normal in terms of, okay, a car can go past and I don't feel as stressed? Or does that still happen?
Well, there's still a few weird behaviours that exhibit in all of us, I think. I still have flashbacks of things going around dirt road corners, and I'm inclined to take the keys out of the car. Perhaps everybody should do this anyway when you're at a service station. I don't want some idiot coming along and stealing my car while I'm going off to pay for the petrol.
No.
Those sorts of things. And even when my wife's in the car, sometimes I'll take the keys out because I don't want her kidnapped.
No.
So those thoughts continue to happen in my mind to this day.
Which, I mean, could be a good thing, because if it didn't happen, you might be leaving your keys in your car.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Just say this whole thing didn't happen, and you were, he didn't do anything with Warren Primary School. What do you think the rest of your life would have looked like?
That's a big question, Noah. That's a big question. I'd like to think that I probably wouldn't have done much different, because I continued teaching. I'm still involved with schools. These days I'm a chaplain. Some people ask the question, so did you get into well-being because of these sorts of things? I did a counselling course and I got a master's in theology just to be able to get into some sort of pastoral care type things. I think my life would have run similar to what it did. Yeah.
And then you now go around to schools, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you? What does that look like? Do you talk about the situation? Like, what do you?
Yeah, so I run seminars called Health After Hurt, and so I tell the story.
Yeah.
And then talk about how I was able to get well after that, following some really healthy practices like being grateful, for focusing on the things that I could be thankful for, instead of focusing on the bad stuff. I can remember saying, let's talk about Robin Smith. Let's think about the police, how good they were.
Yeah.
Thankful for those ladies. Thankful for lots of different things.
Yeah, so you've kind of flipped it on a positive note.
Yes.
How do the students react when they hear your story, or when you come to schools and that?
Yeah, well, they say, is this real?
Well, I mean, it could be like a Hollywood movie, the storyline, isn't it?
They shake. They think I'm making it up.
Wow.
Until I show them all the video and pictures and some of the newspaper clips and stuff like that.
What's the main message you try and achieve from your seminars?
Yeah, so gratitude, forgiveness.
Yep.
I chose to forgive Eastwood very quickly and very naively, which helped me let go of anger and resentment towards him. If I had stayed, and this is probably the most important part of the seminar, if I had stayed angry and bitter and resentful towards him or unforgiving, it'd be like that chain that was wrapped around my wrist was still attached to him, and I would have been dragging him around for the rest of my life, weighed down with those emotions.
Yeah, and you wouldn't feel free.
No, and I would have become a resentful, angry type person.
Yeah.
But in forgiving him, that chain fell off, and I was able to get on with my life. Thank you very much. Whereas for the families, or the children's families in particular, the parents, it wasn't quite so easy. They found that really hard. They'd been through as much trauma, if not more, than me. They remained angry.
Wow.
And they wanted to get him. And I'm thinking, that's probably not very helpful. But I was only a 20-year-old guy, so I wasn't able to say anything. I just sort of focused on the gratitude side of it.
Yeah. And when did you start visiting schools?
Oh, yeah, well, probably 35 years later, really. So I ended up getting a chaplain job at Kyabram P12 College, and I'd tell the story to the Year 9 kids in English, or the Year 8s. It might have been the Year 8s, I think. I get the English teachers to let me come into their classroom and tell a story and talk about health after hurt. And when that job came to an end, I thought, okay, maybe I could go and do that as a business on the side, which I do today.
Yeah. And you've written a book as well. I'm going to just steal this. Day 9 at Warrane. This is, it's literally like your whole perspective on it, isn't it? Your whole story into it. Yeah. And I recommend everyone to read this, because I don't know how many people in this state have gone through something like yourself, Rob. And as we were speaking before about how underrated it is, or not as known as what it perhaps, definitely should be, because it's good to know about it, and then I guess raise awareness, whether that's the right word to use. But yeah, when did you write this, and what made you choose to write this?
Yeah, I've been wanting to write it for many years, really. I probably knew that I needed to record it soon after it happened, but the time wasn't right, because there was so many different players in it. I needed to respect their position, and because a lot of different people were angry and hurt, I couldn't start spouting gratitude, forgiveness, kindness, having, faith or whatever it was. I couldn't spout that and be respectful to their position, I felt. Things changed around about 35 years after the event. One of my grade 6 girls, Leonie, came to visit me up in Kyabram from Leongatha. She came all the way. By that stage, she's about 50 years of age, and she just came to say thank you and to reconnect. And I hadn't seen her since the event, and that really unlocked the gate. And we bawled our eyes out together, and in reminiscing all that had taken place. And because she was just expressing gratitude for my simple role, because she said, look, you did a really good job in that. Not that I hadn't had that feedback hardly at all for those years, and she was just commending me for that. It really broke something in me, and I thought, okay, I've got to write that damn book.
Yeah. And how long did it take to write?
About 3 years.
3 years. I'm looking at the photos on the back here. This one in particular, is that that's the van?
That's the Dodge utility.
The one he took just at the start? Or was that the second one? Wait, was that the one he stole you from the school?
Yeah, that's what we were all piled into.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I might just put that to the camera, whether they can see it or not, I don't know. But it's quite interesting. Very interesting, in fact. Well, I've got, to finish each podcast, I say 10 last quick-fire questions. One of them's quite... Well, one of the questions is the scariest moment in your life, but I think that one's already answered. So I might ask you, what's the second scariest moment in your life, Rob? Have you had one? They're probably not even scary to you, considering you've gone through this.
I don't know. One of the things that comes to my mind is, as a teacher, I've had a few scary moments. A day in a classroom where the children are out of control.
Pretty scary.
Is pretty scary. My wife and I went to England for 3 years as teachers with our 4 kids. And my first day was in a inner city school in Nottingham at Bulwell.
Yeah.
And I had this grade 6 class that was just really scary. Apparently I'd done a good job because the Prin wanted me back the next day.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's good.
But yeah.
First car.
Yeah, there's a picture of my first car
In here.
in there next to where the school is. It was an old...
Is that one of them?
No. See that photo there on the back?
Oh, yeah.
On the left there, that's the car's just there.
Oh, it's just in there. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
It was a Morris Major.
Morris Major. One word to describe that day or that journey.
Crazy.
Best advice you've received in life.
Keep cool, boy.
Worst. Keep cool, boy. Who said that?
It's a line in West Side Story.
Oh, there you go. Worst advice you've received.
Hit if you've been hit. Punch back.
Rob, favourite vegetable?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. That's a new one. We haven't had that yet. Favourite animal?
Koala.
Favourite colour?
Blue.
Going out for dinner? What cuisine? And what are we ordering?
Mexican.
Enchiladas? Tacos? Burritos?
That sizzling plate. The sizzling.
Are you a spice man? Do you like the spice?
Don't mind a bit of spice.
Favourite sport to watch?
Footy.
Team?
Cats.
Do you like the cricket?
Love it.
Yes, same. And last one, what is success to you?
Yeah, juggling relationships and staying in good relationship with everybody through kindness and care and forgiveness.
Amazing. And where can people find you? Because you're on social media. You do your all the stuff that you do, promoting and sharing your story. Where can people find you?
Look up Kidnapped Teacher Talks, or just look up Rob Hunter.
There you go.
And
you'll come up, that's for sure.
It comes up as the kidnapped teacher.
Yeah. Well, it's a story that is completely unbelievable, and I'm very grateful that you've come on today, Rob. Thank you so much, mate.
Thanks, Noah.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Noah Jones Show. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and follow along for more amazing stories. See you next time.